All right, welcome back to Finding Truth, everybody. Episode 54. And obviously, Austin here with Logan. And, or I should say, Logan here with Austin, whatever, either way. Um, pretty good episode coming your way. We'll, of course, be talking about the NASCAR race that just ended a couple hours ago and the photo finish and just all the craziness that transpired there, and we'll give our takes on it. We'll look ahead till next week as well, with it being the last race of the second stage of the playoffs, and we'll give our take, see if we notice anything that stands out for who might be moving on, if it gives anybody in the the outside looking in a chance to get in, or anything really. But apart from that, I think the meat of our episode will be really covering this whole censorship ridden hellscape online that we live in. And censorship, the scope of censorship is more far reaching than just online. It people are censored in real life as well. There's different ways to do it. I know when we were out with Zach, when we first met, we saw how they do live censorship, with agents coming up and causing havoc, causing chaos, stopping the flow of the message to the average person, you know, tying in with our lot to make it look like the whole, there's crazy people uh, pushing messages or agendas or whatever, when in reality it was just, three dudes trying to talk to people on a human level, inform them on some stuff, get their perspective in these things. But you have, in my opinion, that's, live censorship, as well as, I'm sure everybody's familiar with the online censorship. I'm sure people's comments have been deleted more than once. You've had your favorite channels, videos deleted for this, that, and the third. And whether or not it's, part of the overall agenda or not, that's not the point. The point is that, you know, is that something that we can allow moving forward? No one here owns the internet. So at the end of the day, it's almost like going into somebody's house and saying, you know, you will allow me to do whatever I want in your house. It's just like, I've always approached that, this technology, we do not own it. So as much as we're being able to use it, it's like a double-edged sword, really, because it's like everything that we're fighting for can be yoinked away because we never owned it, just like anything in our lives, but especially when it comes to the internet. So we got to take everything with a grain of salt. So demanding, anti-censorship online, I get the idea. I get the amendment, the Second Amendment. I get all, our First Amendment. I get all that. But I think that we need to, like I said, take everything with a grain of salt, and there's a discussion to be had, and we're going to get into that in the second part of the episode today. So without me yapping everybody's ears off, I'm sure everybody's already muted me and censored me. He's like, all right, kick it down to Austin already. What's up, buddy?
Oh yeah, here we are, episode 54, Cable 54, Cabal 54, and yeah, our final episode of September. It's amazing. My half birthday is like a month away already, the 29th of October, and yeah, we got a month left of NASCAR and halfway to the playoffs already. Yeah, it's been a pretty big week for myself. Got a lot accomplished. I ended up being able to actually keep my job and stuff and keep the pay and stuff, and was able to actually work that out, something I didn't think was probably going to happen or maybe not happen. So that did actually supposedly work out. So I'm in the clear for that for now. And yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, yesterday I was able to get my first job on like TaskRabbit. So I helped someone move for a couple hours, made some extra money. So I'm trying to build that up right now and get that going. So that's big. And just knocked down my car insurance a couple days ago, Friday. So I just paying for liability instead of full coverage. So I'm possibly been looking at other cars like 2010 Honda Civics, maybe getting a car soon or trading this in or selling it or if something happens, just junk it. Just kind of so much. That's pretty much like the next thing on my mind. But I got a lot done and accomplished this week, and that was a big week for me, a big week moving forward. So I'm happy with that. I mean, it's something that's just this whole job thing's just been going on for so long, and it's just been I didn't know if that was going to be the discussion this week. I thought maybe that's what I'd be talking about, how I'm out of a job I would have been out of a job as of right now. This is sort of my last day, but was able to get that to come through. And that was just an ongoing battle was going on for a very long time to lock that away. And that caused a lot of stress, a lot of issues, but yeah, hopefully things are on the up, the on and up right now. And, we get some momentum building, we get some things going our way, and just this is really what we need right now. We just need that spark because things are picking up. Like I said, it's almost October, which is it absolutely just wild to think about that we're already to the last so many days of the year. There's only 95 days left in the year, 33 days till Halloween. So 95 days left in the year, 33 till Halloween. It's a big day today. And like I said, next episode already going to be in October. So it's crazy the time, how fast it's moving, and we just keep clicking and moving on. And it was amazing to like I said, I haven't been able to watch the races. They've been taken down the last few weeks on YouTube and stuff, but just following along with what I was able to just kind of watch the tracker for this race and watch how this race was kind of unfolding from time to time. Here at Kansas, this was a race that was really dominated by Toyota and stuff, and the Toyotas looked like they should have had it in the bag. Chevys are like a top 5, top 10 tier for pretty much all race, and then Ford really didn't do anything. Maybe Joey Logano had the best Ford, best car. Ryan Blaney really didn't do anything. No one else really did much. It was pretty much just all Denny Hamlin for the most part leading the race, winning both stages. It was pretty dominant. And then there was just, there'd be some wrecks and things here and there. There was the 38 car that went up on its side and was riding the corners and then flipping over and stuff. And that 38 car has actually done that before years ago in like the Xfinity series. Back then it was the Busch or Nationwide when that happened, where it went up on the side. I think it did it maybe twice at like Richmond and then Bristol, and it was a 38 car. I think it was Jason Leffler driving it, and he's dead now, but this time it was Zane Smith. So, I mean, go figure. And then just repeating history in that 38 riding the wall. It was a pretty, not really too eventful of a race in the beginning. Pretty clean, pretty just, ordinary from what it looked like. And then after that wreck, things kind of got weird there at the end. There was, there were some passes here and there in the race, and, people losing spots on pit road and stuff. And, the end of the race was really what it all came down to. And it's, I don't think I've ever really seen a finish where I've seen, with 2 laps to go on just a regular speedway track, you have the top 5 is all Toyotas. And then Chase Elliott, who ends up picking up the win, was in 8th place with 2 laps to go. Shouldn't even been. I looked at the tracker when I was the race was winding down. I'm like, oh, Chase Elliott, he's not going to win. He's not he's not even in the top 5. He has no chance. It's going to be a Toyota. I thought for sure it was probably going to be Bubba or Bell is what it looked like. I thought maybe Hamlin might be able to get up there as well. Briscoe was up there all race. I thought, maybe something like that would happen. But basically all the Toyota drivers on like the last lap and a half, 2 laps, all end up wrecking each other, putting each other in the wall and screwing each other over. And, Bubba put Bell on the wall, and then, Denny put Bubba on the wall, and Briscoe put himself on the wall. So that just took out, 4 or 5 Toyotas, and then just clears the way for Chase Elliott to just take the lead and just win on that last lap. It looked exactly almost like kind of how he won it, the Atlanta race when he won that on the last lap. Just took the lead in the last lap and won it. This looked almost identical to that, which is, there wasn't anybody, Chase just, was able to get the lead and that one. This time there's actually, people clearing a path for him, knocking people out of the way, so it's just a very orchestrated race where you could just see this is, what they wanted, how they wanted to go. I mean, Hamlin basically kind of lost the race on pit road, but still could have won it, on the track and just wrecks himself. And Bubba and Bell could have raced it out, should have had a win between either one of them and just kind of wrecked each other out. And same thing, Briscoe just drives in the wall by himself. I mean, it's just total clown finish. Can't remember ever seeing anything like that, especially with, all Toyotas, all team cars just taking each other out, just wrecking each other and just screwing each other over for literally no reason. I mean, could have been a pretty decent finish between them, but they had to get that drama in there and had to mix things up. And, and now we have just 5 races to go, and you have just 4 races after next week, and next week is going to be a road course, and that's going to be an elimination round as well. Then you have 3 more races, an elimination, the final race, and you have, I just look at the races coming up right now and what today kind of brought. I mean, today really shook things up, but you got a road course coming up, then you got a speedway at Vegas, and then you got super speedway at Talladega, you got a short track at Martinsville, and then you got a speedway, the smaller mile track, Phoenix, to finish it up. So you have 5 completely different tracks. And one thing we're talking about too, looking at next week too, possibly, is this because Shane Van Gisbergen got his second top 10 on an oval all year, and he only had one at Daytona when he got a 6th place, I believe, which is his best finish on an oval. That was the first race of the year, and then this race he gets a top 10. And is this momentum? Is this a sign for him that he's going to go 5 in a row next week and kind of disrupt the playoffs? Because again, so far the first 5 races have been won by playoff drivers.
Exactly.
And that could be one of the races where maybe the next, maybe the last 5, maybe only 2 or 3 are won by playoff drivers, and he might be one of those guys that ends up kind of disrupting things. And depending how the race goes next week at the road course, it's going to be very interesting to see how the final 4 shape up, because it's been the same last week to this week. There's been every one of the top 8 shuffled around, but it's still the same 4 on the outside looking in. So that'll be something we'll discuss in a bit, if we think that's going to change or we think it's going to stay the same. But yeah, just a really, really kind of drawn, piggybacking off of last week with the Gibbs and the 54 in Hamlin and the drama there. And then it just kind of, builds and transfers into this week. And kind of it's like a total team, just like, total team just takeout there on the last lap. To get the right car to get a win, to move someone else up. And it's just a total, I mean, like you said, if you watch the race, I mean, it really was, Chevy lately hasn't really been doing too much. They've maybe been top 5, top 10 cars, but they haven't really been worthy of wins. They really haven't been performing that well to win. Today they were solid. I mean, could have had top 5, top 10 easy, or at least top 10. But I mean, just how they manipulate these races and how they get these certain people when they want them to win. And this is something we were kind of talking about, how they want to shape this out. And it was just one more race to elimination. I mean, this was a big race, and a lot of people could have won. I mean, if Bubba would have won, that would have mixed things up, because he's someone on the outside looking in. That was huge. You had Briscoe up there. I mean, he could have, made sure he was going on to the next round. So Hamlin could have got another win. So you had a lot of different people that could have had a chance to do something. Bell could have won, could have made sure he was going to the round of 8. So it's the way and even Reddick was up there in the end too. And he hasn't won all year, and that, something could have happened with him. And it was just, I mean, like I said, I've never seen a race end like that or finish like that. Very strange. But again, it just shows you the manipulation, how deep it's rigged. And of course, I mean, like I said, just setting the stage, setting the drama up for the final race of the next round next week at the road course. And it's going to be very interesting how that plays out, being the final road course of the season, just with a month left, because now we can start really, after next week, it'll just be, down to the last 4 races. We can really start narrowing it down with less than a month to go then till the final race. This is going to be something we'll really start to lock in after next week, who we think it's going to be.
Yeah, well put. And just to kind of give everyone a refresher, if you guys aren't hip to the standings, these are updated. So you have Chase getting his win. And yeah, just creeping at the bottom here. Chase Briscoe's kind of cemented his spot. I think he moved from 8th to 7th this week. Not cemented, I shouldn't say, but got given him some wiggle room in points at the bottom here for these guys, outside looking in. And this was a pivotal race. You take a race away from Bubba, who was just about to shake up the top 8 by getting a win, and it looked like he got a win. And by all accounts, he got a win because if you were looking at just the Google NASCAR tracker thing that they do, where it just literally says the lap and who's winning. So it's not the in-depth one that shows their speeds and all that stuff. But lap 267 of 267, it said Bubba Wallace in first, and then it left the screen and it just like showed their pole times. So it looked like the race had ended and it didn't update right away. And so I had texted you and I thought Bubba won it. And I come back and you're telling me, no, it was a shakeup and Chase won. The text I sent you right before that to start things was look out for Kyle Larson. And my idea behind that was that just narrative wise, it'd be interesting for Hendrick to get a win because that would cement or if things shaped up this way, it would cement the 3 teams that have won in the playoffs as the 3 teams moving forward, talking about Hendrick, Gibbs, and Penske. That would, eliminate 23XI if this stands, and Trackhouse, leaving, just those 3 teams. And, obviously Hendrick would more than likely still be in the next round. I mean, it would take an insane shakeup. I don't even think it would be possible to not advance, but this cements their advancement is what I'm trying to say. Also, just narrative wise, we've been keen on Elliott, or I know we've thrown Byron in there as well. Byron, could be due a win. He's kind of one that's a little bit harder to pin sometimes unless a certain governor's active. But I was keen on Kyle Larson, but what I really was, telling you is that, or in my head, I was thinking Hendrick Motorsports has a chance to win, but I didn't think there was any shot. Kyle Larson was sitting 6th pretty much the entire race from what I was watching, and Elliott was floating around like 8th or so. They were doing decent, but it was just a Toyota show the entire race. And yeah, like you said, Reddick was up there. I think you see him as high as 3rd. So he was up there as well. But the way they ushered Elliott in, it's just we watched it, and I might end up pulling that up again. But I encourage anybody to watch the highlights and just literally go to the last minute. It's like a 20-minute video of NASCAR on YouTube. Just go to the last minute and you'll see it's so it's bad, dude. They're just like from what I can tell is no real advantageous reasoning to do the moves that I saw made. Like you said, Briscoe slams into the wall. Denny is jostling with Bubba, who goes crazy wide in the last turn, just the very last turn. You're racing this good of a race, and Hamlin especially, who led like 160 laps, like he led well over half the race, and now you're just going to get into it with basically your coworker, or actually kind of your employee. And you're both going to lose it at the very end. And Elliott just like squeaks in at the like, why even take it high? Like if I'm driving and you have the short, you want to go the shortest distance. It's the final 1/4 of a lap. Why now are you taking the track wide? And you know what I mean? It just seems so weird that all these cars go wide and Elliott just has an wide open lane all the way from like 8th to just fly by everybody at the in that gap of the oval and just take the last straightaway. It just seemed foolish that, and Bubba and Denny are, like I said, they're practically teammates. They are teammates. It wasn't advantageous for them. Like you said, Briscoe slamming in the wall, and to me, it looked like pretty obvious manipulation there at the end. And I can only imagine Vegas. You guys always got to keep this in the back of your head. You have 5 Toyotas, 3 of which are on a team, and the actually, no, yeah. Basically, like you said, yeah, all team, only a couple shades of separation really between all the Toyotas, with the other 2 being 23XI and the other 3 being Gibbs. That it'd be in their best interests to kind of hold that line. So for all of them to individually get into little squabbles to blow it at the end, to me, it screams of a Vegas shakeup. And not only that, we were able to pull up at least one potential reason for why this win came for Hendrick, and that'd be Mr. Gordon. Just the Gordon's vision. But just 55 days since his birthday. What was it?
He won the first 2 Kansas races too in 2001, 2002. He won the first 2.
Interesting. Because I believe Kansas opened in 2001.
Yep.
So that's fun. That's funny.
Yeah, in Chicagoland and Kansas were like cookie cutter tracks. They both opened in 2001, and Kevin Harvick won Chicagoland 2001, 2002, and then Jeff Gordon won Kansas 2001, 2002. I always thought that was interesting.
They had him winning first of the playoffs, 55 days from his last birthday, and he's in his, let's see, do I have him? He's in his 55th year of life right now. Currently, he's got the 8-4 birthday. Always hip to the 84s. In light of what we know about their Jesuits' influence on NASCAR and their locations, and infiltration of masonry, which is evident in NASCAR between the owners and the drivers and things of that nature. But yeah, you have Elliott picking up his 21st win too. I just noticed that this is his 21st win, and he's driving the KBB car, which equals 21. And of course, you widen that out to Kelly Blue Book. Has very similar numbers to 3 out of 4 with Jesuit order. Don't think that that's arbitrary at all, and it is kind of like ironic too. He's in the like car for the company that you use to look up to see like you can look up like crash histories of other cars, and all these cars are just crashing, and he just goes straight through unscathed in the KBB car. Interesting. Something that's interesting. I mean, we've seen weird things they do with like the weather tech, and the sponsorships matter, guys, clearly. And like I said, I just wish that it'd be an easier way to track what car they're driving for the race. Like it should be just right there, plastered somewhere. But for whatever reason, they like to keep that stuff a little bit for race day. Yeah, I didn't notice a whole lot. Oh yeah, and he also got 55 points, which is interesting too, because Hamlin got more points than him just based on staging and when taking second. So I don't know if I've seen that. I was thinking about it. I was going to go through all the races, but I don't. Maybe it probably happened the Bell race, right, where he set the record. I would assume that he got more points than was it Larson who won that one? I can't remember.
Yeah, I forget which race that. Oh, the race I know Bell just won a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but was it Bell that set the record, or was it? Yeah, I think it was Bell, right? for laps led, and then he ended up losing like in the last lap.
I think that was
that Byron?
Well, Byron did that earlier in the year.
Okay, that was Byron. I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that race Byron had more points than the winner, but it's a rarity to be sure. So it's just something that's interesting. Him finishing with 55 points and like a Shuji there, 55 days from Gordon's birthday. Hendrick Motorsports getting their first win of the playoffs, cementing their team into the third round. So interesting. And then, speaking of teams here, of course, we have Blaney winning the first of the second round, cementing Penske in there, but his teammate, as good as he's been running, he's right there on the cusp. And we were talking just briefly before, and I was saying, like, if there's some way, like, first of all, he's out if someone from the bottom four here wins, and keep an eye on Reddick on the board. We'll do a little digging here, but there's something to be said. Either it's just going to fizzle, and they're going to, say it's they love their consolation prizes. You didn't even get a win, but you made it to the second round of the playoffs. They'll call that a win. They love doing that kind of stuff, but potentially keeping a Michael Jordan team in the playoffs could be part of the narrative, just with how much, I'm sure that drives the media and the interest in the sport by bringing up Michael Jordan as much as possible through his team, and obviously the lawsuit that's been going on. But so to continue to have Reddick potentially get a win next week would be very interesting. Of course, he's going to have to take out my boy, who's on a warpath, Mr. Van Gisbergen, top 10 and then his second top 10 on an oval. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting to see because Reddick, even in this race, really he wasn't really doing all that great all race either, but he got up there towards the end, and I was wondering if he was going to do something when he got up there towards the end, but he didn't really end up doing anything at all. He was kind of the only Toyota driver up there that didn't really screw anybody over. He was just up there somehow at the end. He wasn't up there all race, and somehow he got up there in the end, but he didn't screw anybody over. But the other four just screwed themselves. And yeah, and like I said, the four that were out last week are still the same four as this week. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's kind of hard to say. Someone's going to have to. A couple guys are going to have a bad race. For anyone, Ross Chastain can be good at the road courses too, and he's been so quiet this year. He's just like the quietest guy, I swear, that's left in the final 12. Like, you just never hear about him, but he's there. So I don't know if he's done making noise for the year. Or he's got something left in the tank, but Austin Cindric, he's gonna have to basically win. Same thing with Reddick. They're basically in a must-win spot. Maybe even Bubba might be in a must-win spot. Ross Chastain might be able, if someone ahead of him has a bad race and Ross does good, he could possibly make it in. But yeah, it's just going to kind of come down. And then, like I said, if Ginsburg can get 5 in a row, that's also going to be huge as well. And he's only one away from tying Jeff Gordon 6 in a row on the road courses. And the season he's had, and what else, if he can, it's possible too. Like I said, there's so many different races left in the year. Like I said, we could have a different winner almost every race because there's so unique tracks left. It's not like we're going back to kind of the same configurations at all. It's different races every week. So, and once the next round is over too, like I said, it'll be only 4 races left. Then you can really, with the final 8, you can really start narrowing it down to who you think is going to be in the final 4 and who you think is really has a good shot of winning. This is always kind of a tough round. It's like who's going to make the final 8. I was wondering if there's going to be some shockers, if Chase Elliott might not make it or Kyle Larson might not make it or something. They look like they're good to go. I don't think Byron. Unless Byron doesn't make it, it's possible. But I was thinking he would be probably in the final 4 for sure, final 8. But something could happen. I mean, Logano could have a bad race. He could fall out. Briscoe, something could happen to Briscoe as well because he's kind of teetering. But yeah, the drama right now is really building.
Absolutely. And, you know, interestingly enough, too, with him being teammates of SVG, that could be an interesting narrative. That could be a very interesting narrative
Yeah.
because, like, say they go like 1-2 in whatever order you pick. Um, one thing I had to ask was, is it considered it's considered a playoff win to just if you're the highest finisher in the playoffs, right? Even if a non-playoff driver wins.
Yeah, like the last race of like the year when they're all battling, like whoever ends up like 2 years ago when Ryan Blaney finished second to Ross Chastain, that that was good enough to get him the win. So I think, and I don't know if they've changed the format or the playoffs from like the last year to this year, where maybe maybe the points are going to matter more for the last race, or it just goes in order of who finishes, because ever since they've been doing it this way, whoever finishes the highest in the final race wins the championship, whether you win. And everyone has won a race to win it, except for 2 years ago when Ryan Blaney finished second. So I almost feel like maybe this year, maybe Ryan Blaney, if he's in the same spot, he would win. He finished, actually finished second the last 2 years at Phoenix because Joey Logano won there last year. So he's second 2 years in a row. So yeah, pretty much. I think unless maybe they've changed something, but yeah, I mean other drivers can win, like I said, and that's what I do expect, that there will be possibly a few or a couple, maybe 2 to 3 drivers that win with the races left that possibly aren't in the playoffs, or maybe they were eliminated drivers from the playoffs that were in but maybe got eliminated, or maybe just people on the outside looking in.
Remains to be seen for sure, but it would be kind of interesting for Trackhouse to play spoiler to kind of, I don't know, it'd be an interesting way of propelling their name because they're the other team named in that lawsuit as well. So they're definitely key factors with that moving forward. It would be Ross's 7th win, his last win coming in at Charlotte, interestingly enough. And that was that race where he was in the folds of honor, jockey car. We talked about that. I remember talking about that. May 25th. That's like, anyway. So from that race to next week is 19 weeks on the nose. 133 days later. What's our boy? What does he have a fun name? Ross Lee, Chastain. Bill Lee.
Billy.
He does have that
93.
absolutely. October 5th. October 5th is an interesting day with Charlie Kirk equals 105.
Yeah, isn't the race on his birthday? Is October 5th, or is that the 4th the race is on Sunday?
It says it was on the 5th.
Oh, so it's going to be on his birthday then. Very interesting. I think we might have went over this last week or the week before.
Whose birthday?
Or was it Ross Chastain's birthday? Or
No, I don't think so. His is December 4th.
December 4th.
Yeah. I see this. Oh, this picture is this is after his win. Interesting. So that'd be an interesting one. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I like to look ahead to the course itself. We're going back to Charlotte. And anytime we're in North Carolina, that's Jordantown. Let's just see. 106 like NASCAR.
Yep.
106 like black. Look out, Bubba. We'll do the full one as well. Speed off. Road course. $400. That's an interesting. Concord, North Carolina. Reminds me of the video game Fallout. No. Concord's got the 72. No shit. There's always judge what numbers. Concord, North Carolina. At least I caught it this time. Ooh. Michael Jordan's got that 113, just like Concord, North Carolina. And the interesting thing about these is always like potentially that these rituals have already been played out. You know what I mean? With Michael Jordan going to school in North Carolina and making a name for himself in North Carolina. This could be a part of something that has already played out. What was I going to look at? Oh, yeah. $55.55 Concord Parkway. Maybe it's a satanic address, that's for sure. That's got a 4.7. All right, let's go down the list here. Let's go here.
Roble.
Man, I hate when things just pop out of my head. I was gonna go and either type something into the calculator or a date, and now it just gone. I don't remember what I was moving towards, but I definitely had a thought process working, and then it just disappeared for some reason. Whatever. Charlotte. Charlotte the harlot.
51 like conspiracy.
Very true. Well, let's, I guess, just take a peek, see what Kyle Larson's cooking up. I got faith. Back-to-back Hendricks. I can see it. July 31st. "66 days from his last birthday to this next race." Does have a birthday.
9 weeks, 3 days.
Yeah, his birthday is the day, leaving 153 days left in the year too for Mr. 201. Just like a Jesuit order there. Whereas the Jesuit order equals 201. Guys is got the fingerprints all over this gentleman. Okay, let's got 32 wins. It'd be his 33rd win. Kyle Larson's next win is his 33rd, so we should keep that in mind.
And he's 33.
Yeah, exactly. Odds he gets it this year, high.
And 33 plus 33 is 66.
Very true.
That's 66 days from his birthday, yeah. Could be Grand Larsoning the Charlotte Roval.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll steal it from SVG at the end. I will say this: if it comes down to, let's say this, if Van Gisbergen has a good race, pay attention to if he loses, but has a good race. Let's just say he takes second. Really pay attention to who takes first. God, that's been a narrative we've been talking about ever since he won honestly, I think ever since he won his first one, that's kind of opened up this narrative for us of especially we started talking about it after he won his second race, and then it just got more and more on topic with all of his wins that he had this season. But he could very well play spoiler, or he could very well kind of usher in that hero figure who can take down the road course specialist. So one way or another, but obviously you've mentioned the other narrative that's very heavy of him, outside of the playoffs. This could very well be a race that, yeah, it's gonna end the second round of the playoffs. So it's got that building for it. But if they could also, leagues love their records. So very well could be that fifth win to tie Jeff Gordon and have that narrative in play for all of next season. So I very much so could see that either one of those. But like I said, if he has a great race, look for who he beats or look for who beats him potentially. So his last win was on May 11th. $147 days ago. And 21 weeks on the nose. Forget. It's just a what about his race name? I almost forgot. It's got the 42. 138. Tripping. Not Freemasonry. Yeah, Freemasons 42. That's what I was thinking. Okay, but for anyone who doesn't already know, we've talked about this several times, but he's one of the interesting. His name equals 66 too, so that's interesting. Very interesting, actually. Okay.
You have to watch where he qualifies for sure.
What was his birthday? July 3rd. Yeah, keep an eye on Kyle Larson. I know it's early in our little look ahead here, but I don't know, man. He's one of those drivers that is heavily publicized, like, which is funny because his publicist and agent didn't quite make it this year, and he made out like a bandit that week. Won Xfinity, and the week his publicist died, or his manager or agent, whatever you want to call it, died. He won Xfinity and Cup Series race. Sure, it's just a coincidence. I'm sure he was just driving with him right beside him. He just got those angelic winds and those angelic drafts from. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm sure that's really how it works. Really, I'm sure it's just so beautiful and nothing evil at all. So yeah, already just with our, one of our first, we checked out Chastain there, but interesting narrative here for Kyle Larson early on here. And then of course we have Denny Hamlin, who you predicted potentially got one more win in him in the playoffs. Of course, it is looking like he's making it to the next round. But what are the odds he wins it? You think November 18th birthday.
He's never won it yet. Is this his year?
His birthday is 44 days away. So,
and he's 44.
Yeah, that's very true. So, man, two birthday related little tidbits here early on. Larson being 33 and could get his 33rd win. Also, a month and 13 days, like Concord, North Carolina equals 113. Oh yeah, Denny equals 62 as well. It being 6 weeks and 2 days from his birthday, or till his birthday. Is it like James? What's his name? Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen. And
95, like there was 95 days left in the year today.
It's interesting that he was right there. He took second.
Yep, dominated the race, led all the stages.
Well, that's interesting. 44, and he's sitting on what, 59 wins? How many wins does he have?
Yep, 59.
His next wins is 60th.
And Gibbs is on pole today. Gibbs 33 days till Halloween.
Very true. Spooky. All right. Let's check in on my boy and the other Hendrick driver, Mr. Barron.
And Byron's been quiet lately. You got to wonder what. I feel like he's got a win left in the year.
"55 days from his birthday next week." Jeez. Common theme here.
PBR episode 55 winner.
That'd be very funny. Of course, you have Byron's got the 153.72 like Jesuit order. Let's see. He is a junior, though. I believe. Gomez, Byron Jr.
95 as well.
Yeah. What? 278th day of the year. Says the last win. His next one will be his 16th. Last one at Iowa, August 3rd. 63 days ago.
Nine weeks
William
exactly.
Byron equals
That long ago.
63.
Yeah.
63 days from his last win. That's something to pay attention to. Of course, that's his full name posted there, but the 63, if you guys didn't notice, right, was in his slave name, his stage name, I'll say it. And let me just pull this up too. So you guys can see the 153.72 like Jesuit order as well. What's the potential last race? What day would it be on?
November 2nd.
November 2nd, huh? That's something to keep in mind. 112. Okay, I'll write that down.
It's a month away.
What are the odds Bubba picks it up here? He's got that October birthday. Oh yeah, he's getting closer to his birthday. We noticed that last week.
Come on, Bubba. Happy birthday, Bubba.
His birthday would be 3 days later, so it'd be a Bubba birthday surprise. William, oh yeah, gotta be William. Which is just so funny. His name's William Wallace. If you know, you know. William Wallace equals 55.
Double W.
Just use his slave name here. 239 is the 52nd from. William Darrell Wallace Jr. Wait, is it 1R? 2R's, 2. Keep the juniors, guys. A lot of nepotism in this sport, as most sports do. But yeah, he's got the 153 going for him as well. And his full name. Well, could be a birthday surprise for our boy Bubba. Bubba birthday bash. Big Black Bubba birthday bash.
Big bubbly birthday.
Whoa. Oh, he's 31 years old too. Okay, so there's that 31 too. I was not even. Was it his slave name? Yeah, but Wall's 31. Of course, he'll be turning 32. So keep that in mind. A lot of weird birthday connections with multiple drivers so far.
Yeah. Yeah. That means he'll be in his 33rd year of life too.
Very true.
Leaving the 32nd year behind.
I think Michael Jordan's birthday is February 14th. Just looking at that Jason Leffler guy. Interesting that he is a Gibbs driver too.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's interesting. We might want to. I might look into this separately because that's very interesting that you bring that up. Didn't realize he died driving too.
Yeah, he died in it was like a sprint car wreck or something.
Very interesting. Drove the Great Clips as well, which is I think is one of Denny's sponsors.
Yeah.
Like
he was driving. Yeah, the Great Clips today is what he was driving.
And the 38 Rex on the line. Interesting. Little tribute going on there, potentially. I mean, this guy was young. He was 37 when he died, so 38th year of life in the 38 car.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him in both those wrecks when the 38 went up on the side and was like riding the. I can't remember if it was one or I know it happened at Richmond. I think it might have been him, and then I think it might have happened at Bristol too. I don't know if he was driving both times. It was that 38 car.
Very interesting. It was February 17th. Okay, I'll remember it one day. 230 days from his birthday, like 23. That's kind of interesting. 135 till it's next. I have it. Yeah, of course, Michael's a 33 name too. I mean, it's got the 138, 39 as well. So, not to say Michael Jordan's the only Michael. Oh, okay, it's 238. I was getting that mixed up. Well, keep that in mind. But let's take a look at Mr. Reddick next. Oh yeah, he's got the January 11th. One of these days, I not only will I need to just this helps me maybe remember it, but I will index it. I really should, like, just have a notes that I pull up with all the drivers and their birthdays and things of that nature. That it's super easy to. I mean, you can even do their last win and just update it as you go, just so you don't have
Like
to type
Brian
it in.
Blaney, super easy to remember.
Oh yeah, because it's right before
Last
the
day of the year.
yeah. 267, not a prime, just barely not a prime. "98 days from his next birthday." And then, has he won? He has, hasn't he?
Who's that? Oh,
Tyler
Reddick?
Reddick.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
won.
yeah. So he'd be going for his 9th win. And this would, we talked about this narrative with, them pulling him out, uh, with him being the only driver in the playoffs that didn't win a race. So he's 29. When was his last win? Let's go. Let's take it all the way back, baby. Last year at Homestead, so October 27th. Just before Halloween. Spooky. 343 days ago. 49 weeks on the nose. Although, with his name being Tyler and this being on 100, October 5th, like Charlie Kirk equals 105, him being shot by a Tyler and all the Tyler connections going on with that, it is something. Also, Tyler equals 55. Like, what the hell? Okay. Hmm. Yeah, Jordan is that's the one I was thinking of. That's the 62 and 26. What are the odds that Tyler 26, 62, between his first name and his first and last name, has 26 and 62 and he drives for Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
All right, bro. He primarily drives the
And the
monster car,
45 big ritual.
not to mention the monster car too. The
Yep.
obvious symbolism there.
Yeah, him and Gibbs always had like the same card, the same numbers, just reversed. 45, 54.
Just arbitrary numbers. Who cares? Maybe let's see, Monster Energy. Hmm. 65.
It used to be called the Monster Energy Cup Series, I think, or the Monster Energy Series or something. That was the name of. I think they started that back in like 2017, maybe, or something, but it didn't last that long, I guess.
I think his middle name is George. I'm going to type it in and I'm going to look. Yes, I'm starting to remember. Well, other than the Jordan connections, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Charlotte Motor Speedway equals 101, like his full name. Oh yeah, what's the race? Bank of America Roval. Bank of America. Got that 54 going on.
81.
Seven up 39th. Did we? Yeah, it was Chastain who won it. Charlotte. So on to the next. December 16th. Yeah, this would be so much faster if I just did what I said and had a little index thing, notepad on my computer. I really got to work on that. 72 days from his 31st birthday. Interesting. Just for Christopher David. Man, he's so they. I mean, really, if you can spot like Masonic narratives going on to do with a race, put a quick few bucks on the Chris Bell. I'm telling you, his name is Masonic, or the numbers, I should say. I mean,
Yeah, he's got 201 in there, just scrambled, and he's got the 33 in there with a 0 at the end. He's got pretty much has
yeah,
it all.
exactly. I mean, the bell is a symbol in masonry.
Yep.
What is bell by itself? Bell's got that 31. He's 31st year of life. Interesting. But yeah, you did notice that 102 as well, and it's 10 weeks and 2 days from his birthday. That was his full name, or was no? Yeah, it was. Yeah, Christopher David Bell, 102. How many wins does that juicy boy got? I should not say that. That's a weird thing to say. I'm sorry. 13. So his next wins is 14th.
He's got that 13 in there, the 31, 13. And the bail.
Last one was on the 13th of September. So just a few weeks, 15 days ago. But I guess it would be 22 days. I'm pretty sure I'm not just like fucking that up, right? Yeah. 3 weeks in a day, like 31.
Yep.
Yeah, Bell is 31. Somewhat interesting. Somewhat interesting.
He almost is 31.
Mm-hmm.
So his 32nd year already.
Let's take a look at our boy. Got to keep those chases all the way. Wow, December 15th.
And they're teammates too, 19 and 20.
Probably born in the same incubator.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. 71 days. 10 weeks in a day like Charlotte is equals 101. Oops. Ooh. Damn, that was close. That was close. I'm using a double monitor and like my other screen is like peeking over my other monitor. And I went to go switch to this tab up here and I almost exited out. Luckily it asks me, you sure you want to?
Are you sure you want to do it?
you fuck with there? So that was very close. Almost had technical difficulties. Okay, that's what I was doing. Yeah, Charlotte Motor Speedway 101, as pointed out. "42 weeks on the nose from his last birthday." Interesting. And how old was he? Another 30. Huh.
They're a day apart and a number apart.
Interesting.
And they're teammates.
Yeah. No reason.
You go here, I go there, okay?
Crazy. They very well could be in the same incubator. That joke became very real in like 2 seconds. Very weird. I mean, his middle name's David too. Huh. They both have CDB names. Guys, this is live. I don't like look too far into all this stuff.
It's
Ahead of the
too
time.
good. It's too good. This is perfect. This is perfect.
That's wild. So keep that in mind, guys, moving forward. There's potentially here more than just a teammate relationship going on between these two. They're definitely linked beyond more than that. And you know, how convenient is it to just write on one of their birth certificate that they're at least a day apart, just to make it obvious, you know, just to make it, just to avoid any suspicion that they're literally twins or something, you know what I mean? Or test tubers. And I've been pointing out all season long before I was even like interested in the races yet. And we were just, you know, I was breaking these things down. I'm just like, yeah, why is everybody winter babies? All of these are winter babies. Almost all NASCAR drivers are winter babies. It's an odd, weird thing. That would mean like the majority of them are being, you know, their moms are getting nutted in around what, March? You know, February,
Yeah.
March. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to make any kind of weird connection to
It's like CBD, but CDB.
yeah,
And
I thought about that when I said CDB. I was like, oh,
it's like how much weed you have
maybe
to
I'm high
smoke
right
to
now.
see the similarities here. It's like
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
get
say,
stoned, you get stoned, you just stare at this the whole night. Like, man, these two are
oh,
twins. I think we found them.
CDB. Oh, dude. Yeah, interesting. Interesting little connection there. Interesting to see if that has any say into their outcomes this playoffs, because That's just wild. That is just straight wild, brothers. Okay, we looked at these guys.
You didn't look at Ginsburg.
It's time. I've been holding it off because
5'9".
That's who we. That's what 59 like Michael Jordan. Interesting. And of course we got. It is just his surname equals 201. Keep that in mind, people. Also, Shane Robert. Shane Robert Van Gisbergen got the 113 too.
Yeah.
And
130 breaks down to 13, so numbers aren't lying.
But yeah, I mean, just like Concord, North Carolina, 103 breaks down to 13 as well. Got the 113 connection there. Is it in the cards for our boy? One last coup de grace. And then, why do I feel like Shane had there's something with Shane as well? Maybe not. But yeah, May 9th. Take a peek here. 149 days from his last birthday. 216 days away from his next. Interesting number.
Seven months, 4 days.
Mm-hmm. And his last win. August 10th. Dang, man. Time flies, bro. Holy crap. "56 days from his last win." Interesting.
Oh, man. NASCAR 56.
Yeah, that's what I was about to write. I just didn't know if I had it up already. Absolutely, bro. Talking about this all the time. All the damn time. Of course, we mentioned the 106 connection with, was it Charlotte, North Carolina? Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina. I got the 106. What about just the state itself? North Carolina. Copyright strike right there. Seen a lot of 77s, but I haven't really documented them. But interesting. Just interesting side note. Let's have the 203, like Jordan West 23. Just for more. What's the full name? He has another nickname, the Giz. The Giz.
The Giz.
Yeah, that sounds dirty.
It does.
Get that Giz off me, bro. SVG has the 33 as well. I think we've talked about that. And the 48.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting. I'm going to get a 6th win overall on the 6th race of the playoffs, too.
Yeah.
To Giz. How did I not see that before?
I don't think I've heard that either.
I don't like that. You got to cut that nickname. If I'm his publicist, I'm cutting that nickname.
And look who finished together today, Bell and Briscoe.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole like. I'm telling you, they're connected at the hip. From my perspective, moving forward, I have this whole other narrative. Guys, just watch this stuff unfold. Watch this stuff unfold. I'm telling you, watch it. You're gonna find out that they're, I don't know, some just in the coming years or seasons. Just look out for that. Pay attention to that correlation. I don't think that's arbitrary at all.
Yeah, they're going to be stuck driving the 1920 with the 15-16 birthdays. We're a day apart. We're a number apart. Exactly. We might both have Davids where they get the same initials.
Something's wacky. What are the odds that Cindric comes out of nowhere and shakes things up?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's impossible. He's been pretty. I mean, he's had some pretty good races this year. He's not really. I don't know if he's the best of road course drivers, but I feel like this race. I feel like this race. After what I saw today, I mean, anybody can win.
33 days from his birthday, 332 from his to his next. But of course, we all know about Austin and how evil that name is.
Yeah, such a horrible name.
But for those of you who aren't familiar, Austin Jesuit Forsaker connection there.
It's like William and Nirvana.
Mm-hmm. Austin Cindric does have the 144. I think we've talked about that before. It's just not something that I retained in my memory. The 63 as well. Oh, is it Lewis? I don't pronounce this when I see it. What's Cindric sitting on? Other than a fat butt plug. What if that's what if they all have to like plug in to their seats and they're just remote controlled?
Yeah.
Do like an electronic butt plug on their seat. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
He has 3, so this would be his 4th win. To avoid death, he must embrace death to avoid it.
Got to get number 4.
Yes, yeah, April 27th. "23 weeks." A lot of 23s with this Charlotte race. It's like, I mean, they're not all in regards to Jordan. It's just interesting.
Austin Cindric wins on Austin Dillon's birthday.
Yeah, I mean, these like name rituals they've been doing this year have been pretty wild. The Byron with the governor. There's a lot of weird stuff that they've been playing at. I mean, I say they're playing at it. This could just be this is probably just the manual for since before I was ever born. It's just noticing it is weird.
I was like, what are the odds? You know, you could have up to like 3 Austins in a race. I mean, it's just like.
I say your odds are pretty good if all their numbers equal Jesuit. So go figure.
Could be a Scott Speed or a Lake Speed.
So fast. I mean, even Cindric equals 42 and 48 too. Got the 129 like base 8 201. Something to keep in mind moving forward. Almost made it through. Let's take a little pit stop, if you will. Check out our boy Joseph Thomas Logano.
Come on, Joey.
134 days from his last birthday. 33 weeks on the nose till his next.
Ooh.
'78, '84. We talked about this, I believe. About just his slave name. Oh man, these little ads just tick me clean off. Take so long. He's be his 38th win. May 4th. I looked this up 3 weeks in a row now. I should remember his last win.
38 like Zane Smith today.
154 days, 22 weeks on the nose. He drives the 22, obviously.
Yeah.
Not just his surname. No idea. I guess I should be looking to see if anyone has connections to Charlotte too, other than Michael Jordan. Just that I don't know. The only ones we're missing so far is just Blaney. I think Blaney's the last one. In the playoffs, that is. December 31st. $87 days. And then he won, obviously, last week. So a week away from his last win. Week off his last win. What is he sitting at, though? I'm just missing it. Be a 17th win.
17 like kill, and he got Joey looking for 38 death, murder, killing. So you got some kill and
It's an elimination game too, so kind of on theme there. But Ryan, he's also 31 years old to add to that list of 31st years of life, or 31. Went to a nice Catholic high school, so. Oh, Michael. Oh, he's got Michael middle name too, going into Michael Town.
78.
He's born in 93. He's got the 93 in his name.
The final hours of '93.
Yep.
The final seconds. Like what time were you born exactly? 11:59, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
59 seconds. We're calling it 59 seconds. We're not
59
going to
and a
give you
half.
94 on that one. We're going to say 93.
There was like a, it was like a photo finish when he popped out of the movie.
Yeah.
It was like, he look, he jumps ahead right at the last second. Wow. In the delivery room, it was just a checkered flag on the ground. His mom just shot him out. Well, covered a couple interesting things. Narrative-wise, you've mentioned it. I think one of the biggest narratives on the board for this, if we're talking about this race, is quite obviously it being the road course and this being such a hyped type thing. You have a guy who won 4 races this year, tied for the most races won, Mr. Gisbergen, my guy, dude. But this has been like a hyped thing. He mentioned it on his exit stage left when he got booted in the first round. He mentioned how it was a blessing and a curse, the way the playoffs are formatted, and how he's not going to get a road course to survive basically, and how poor he's raced on ovals. Well, now he got his like second best finish on an oval the race before the road course. Was this something foretelling, some foreshadowing here?
Yeah, and getting in that, yeah, and that's just the thing. I mean, they set it up for that, and it's like, for him to have that, little peak there at the beginning of the year at that sixth place at Daytona and get, just the second top 10 all year on ovals. What a time to do it. I mean, and it just, all the crap he's been doing lately, just, not really stepping up, not really getting better, not really doing anything. And now all of a sudden, here comes his chance to go for number 5 and get 5 in a row, and then just be one behind Jeff Gordon on the road courses. If he can get the 6 in a row and tie Gord, if he can get the 7, and then beat Gordon's record. But yeah, it's very interesting the way this is setting up. And I mean, he's got, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's pulled on all the road courses too that he's won, except the last time where Blaney was the one guy to beat him on the pole, but not at all in the race. So, I mean, I don't know if what qualifying, if he poles or qualifies second. I mean, I really think it's going to come down just to the race, because like these races, I mean, it's not like he's like, just, yeah, I mean, I thought like that first win he got was kind of competitive with him and Gibbs. I kind of thought it could go either way. I thought Gibbs might actually win that race, but I mean, kind of other than that, I mean, he's pretty much just, and even that second time where I think Gibbs got second and Reddick was third, like the last 2, I mean, he just straight out, flat out dominated at Sonoma there and then at Watkins Glen. So, I mean, we'll have to see if he does win. Is it just going to be just a pure on domination where he's, half a lap ahead of the field? Just, I mean, 20, 30-second lead, is just going to be unreal again, or is it going to be somewhat competitive, or is he going to have a dominant car, or is it going to be someone else's turn? So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting race coming up here in a week. And who knows, maybe rain will be part of it or something. And we'll go to rain tires. They'll put the rain tires on. Maybe that'll be some drama in the race or something. I mean, a lot to look at there when it comes to all that.
I mean, just how funny would it be if Shane goes 1 and Chastain goes 2, and he just ushers in his Trackhouse teammate into the third round of the playoffs, and I think that'd be so funny too. If to me that would be pretty obvious too, just to have in Michael Jordan territory, have a Trackhouse or a 23XI car win here would be very telling that they choose to do it in Charlotte. But it's win or die from this point, for 23XI and Trackhouse. They're both both teams are on the outside looking in. So it's going to take, from what I've seen, looking like a win or a disaster on Logano's part or Chastain's Briscoe's part, to kind of blow it. And I mean, it's almost like DNF, and the other two have a great race, like a great race. So interesting to see. There's room to shake it up. There's definitely room to shake it up. If Logano or Briscoe don't have a very good race, I mean, I say only Logano and Briscoe, but yeah, basically Logano and Briscoe. They're the only ones really in reach, in range of really shit in the bed here and getting any kind of mix up. And we saw in week or round one, zero mix up. It was as expected with the elimination, so we could very well see they just be playing it by the book here, which, like I've talked about multiple times, lends credence to Vegas odds. It tells you that the odds makers' jobs are, like it's like it has something to do with more than manipulation. It's not manipulation. It's a not a I don't dare say arts, because no one considers it an art, but I mean, like, it's a valid field. It's like they're actually statisticians, like they're really trend noticers, and understand the ins and outs of each sport that these guys set the odds on, when in reality the odds are, they're not arbitrary, but they're arbitrary to what you think they're there for. They're arbitrary in the fact that you don't have the code book that says what those odds mean before the game or before the race. For the people who know with the code book, who can place a fat, nice bet on a par or a parlay on thing and just move, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars of civilians' money back into the private sector. That's what it's all about, guys. Let's take a break here. Let's take a break here from the NASCAR and the things. Guys, do you understand what Vegas betting is? And I'm not saying don't bet. Like, if you have if you can find insider knowledge or an edge, I'm not even telling you that's the only reason to bet. Go ahead and bet. Throw your money away. Do whatever you want with your money, really. But when you're doing whatever you want with your money, realize that is the purpose of it. It is to, it's not like the money is truly enriching somebody in that upper echelon that knows the code. Money is like toilet paper. It's not, I'm not saying they're wiping their ass with it actually, but it's in that same vein. These people, money is not, they're not living the same life as us. They're not worried about money. Like, that's all I'll say with that. But yeah, when you guys are betting, and when the odds are set, and there's a big upset or big crazy thing, that's what this is. It's a way of reallocating money from the civilian sector to the private sector. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a way of keeping they can't have 50% of the population be millionaires. That's never going to happen. That opportunity does not exist. Guys, just realize that. So think about it, that this applies more than gambling. You know what else is a gamble? Trying to be an influencer, because you see all the influencers out there that they put out their money, their reports, they love doing that, showing, flexing on people, showing how much they make. And you see that they're multimillionaires for doing like jack shit. And then you get a bunch of clones. And I'm talking a bunch. I'm talking tens of thousands of people who have it in their twisted mind that it's not about how interesting you are. These people aren't multimillionaires because they're more interesting than anybody. Guys, we're playing a game. Once again, just like I mentioned in the build-up, we're on the internet. We don't own it. We're not playing on our own game board. We're playing with borrowed pieces. We got to realize that. We got to take a step back from the equation and realize it's not a 50-50 game here. This isn't like 50-50 chances for everybody. That's never what it's going to be. Not as long as we keep playing their game. I'm just saying, in anything you do in life, realize please that you're not playing your own game. It's healthy. I'm not saying that you're the guy that's going to change everything. Obviously, we highlight ways that these things can be changed, in our opinion, and we're working towards those things. Community awareness, obviously pushing channels like Zach's channel, like King Richard's channel, and I've said a million times, hoping for some level of community from the people I've reached out to, and hopefully they can reach back one of these times, or new people that, by the way, I've mentioned all these people that I've reached out to. It could be you. Reach out to me. Hit us up in on our email or in our comment section. Let's get something going. Me and Austin are not like creators. We're just dudes chilling. We were dudes chilling on the street, and we were like, yo, we're both pretty cool dudes chilling on the street. Let's chill on the phone. Let's chill online. And here we are. That same process is all it takes to join this, to make this something more. If you think you don't have something to talk about, or if you think you can't carry a conversation, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The one thing you would have is the two best yappers this side of the Mississippi. And if you need help carrying a conversation, the yappers got it. I mean, certainly I do. I think everybody's saying that right now under their breath. I can still hear you. But yeah, please reach out to us. Like, don't live a timid life. Don't live a coy life. I know we have 244 subscribers. One of y'all, please. I'm not gonna beg. I'm not gonna beg. But one of y'all, any amount of y'all, please reach out. I'm not farming for whatever they call that crap. Clicks and whatever I can't even think of the name. So obviously I'm not farming for that. But it's bigger than that. It's not even ego boost. We've talked about this in the past, that the boons have helped. The shots up in views and comments and interactions, that does help. Come on, guys, we're human. That helps our fortitude or mentally, that people are tuning in. But we were going to go regardless, guys. And I'm not saying we don't need you. I'm just saying we need you. But it's one thing if it feels like sometimes we're talking to a void. It's like we'd still be talking because we're such good yappers, as I'm proving right now. But it'd be nice to every once in a while to have somebody reach out from the void and show that. And it can be a temporary thing, but we'd love to have people more permanently along for the ride in this community. That's what community takes. I mean, right now we're a 2-person community. I'll say 2.5, because Richard is becoming more and more regular on our show, which has been absolutely wonderful. If you guys have not caught our Richard shows, they're clearly marked. He's in the title. Go check those out. Those have been fun. They've been so fun just to be able to talk to somebody. It really is. Isn't it weird how simple that difference is of just having another dude here? As much as I love talking to you, dude, I can talk to you all day long. But isn't that weird how it just like propels everything even better?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember episode 47. We were just crushing it, killing it. That was like 2 months ago already, and we blew up. We had a ton of views on that. I remember the first time King was on, and he wasn't on very long the first time. He was on for probably, I think it was less than an hour, probably like 30, 40, 50 minutes. Maybe the first time it wasn't too long. And then he was on for like a couple hours, I think 2 hours last time. So yeah, he's been stepping up, coming on more. And he's been on longer too. So yeah, it's always great to have him on. I always like having him on. And you're absolutely right. It's so nice and refreshing when you can have someone else like come in and like talk and say things, and it doesn't make us feel like we're just kind of, alone or insane in this world. There's other people out there, to talk to and you could listen to. And that's the one thing I like to listen to other people too and hear what they have to say, and then, bounce my ideas off of them and see where they're, because everyone's got different knowledge, brings a little something different. Everybody can have a different, that's the thing. I mean, it's just like, getting to know people, and then people coming on and, learning from them, or maybe you know of them, or, you watch their stuff and then just they come on. But it's just nice to have that, because just like it's just too, like I always say, we're just too rare. And and that's just, we're kind of at that transitioning part of the uh show too. And the thing is too, and I was talking too, like I said, before we began tonight too, I was watching somebody else's show, or not their show, but their channel, their video. And they were just on, and they were someone I watch, and they had and I commented, and I left a comment. We were kind of going back and forth in the chat and stuff. And someone I watch, I got a few channels that I watch and stuff, and his name is Justin and stuff. And then I was listening to what he was saying. It was a video that's like talking, it just not even about I mean, it'd be different if like different videos get taken down, or maybe something else he was saying, or I could see something else getting taken down. But we were literally just talking about just like how it's like easier for some people. Some people have an easier time like gaining weight. Some people have an easier time losing weight. Like, it was one of those discussions where we're talking about like body types and certain people how much you eat. But it was just like the most you know I don't even know the word, just like, or the words, just such a like a easy, just kind of random, but just such a nice flowing conversation. It's interesting, just not nothing really like kind of, I wouldn't say truth or
Harmless.
truthy, or gematria related, or numbers or anything like that. Just talking, whatever. I mean, literally no reason that the stuff should have been taken down. It was, and I commented on it Thursday when I watched it, and then I think it might have still been up Friday, or it got taken down Friday. I can't remember if it was up Friday or not. But yesterday, he put out another video saying, you can't speak your mind anymore. You can't say what you want anymore. It's like, I think the title of the video was like, you can't even speak your mind anymore. And then it was only like 7 minutes, and I watched it, and he's like, yeah, the video, I put out 2 days ago, it got taken down, or it's taken down, or whatever. And I'm like, well, really? What? That got taken down? And I looked, and then, all my stuff, the video's deleted. It's gone. My comments, talking to him, is gone. So everything on there is gone. The video's gone. It was um, just really weird. And like you said in the video too, it's like, they'll just take down anything they want to take down. Anything they want to take down and get rid of, they'll just do it. It doesn't have to do anything, that you even said or that you were saying. If they just, whatever reason, want to take something down for really no reason, they can do it, and they'll do it. And that's just that's what kind of has prompted me. This just happened. I just found this out yesterday, and I looked, and I'm like, wow, they did get taken down. And it's what just kind of prompts me to talk about this, tonight too. Is just like how we're in this, and I've said it so many times. I say it so many times. We just don't know how much time we really have left on the internet, on YouTube, and to do this stuff with, because right now, I mean, the surveillance state is exploding in full force. I mean, they are bringing it like they've never brought it before. And they all got data, stuff on all of us and all of our information anyways, and none of that even matters. But I mean, we're just at such a point where it's like, I don't know how much longer we have of doing this stuff. And it's like, the things we talk about, it's like, man, I can't believe our stuff right now is not getting taken down. But, a year from now, 2 years from now, that's where we're going to be. I mean, they're building the surveillance state, that, the digital IDs, and, you got to have an ID for the internet. And I've been clicking on stuff and looking at stuff too. And I've been seeing some weird stuff, and they're starting to ask you more questions. They are starting to change. The internet is starting to change rapidly. I mean, everything is starting to really get weird. We're entering, and I think 2026 is going to be a year of great change. I think the next 2 years are going to be the next, I'd say, because it's almost 2030 already. I mean, 2030 is calendar year is almost just 4 years away. But I think, by that time, we only have like another, I've been sitting thinking, how much time do you really have, with the way things are going. I like to be more, say more, maybe we got like 10 years, but lately the things I've been seeing, how fast things are picking up, and just the way things are escalating, and the way things are changing, and just what's to come in just the next couple years even. I mean, we're literally at a point where we literally only have like, 3-4 years, I'd say at best, 5 years at best. And it's just, um, knowing that, you're on limited time and your days are numbered, that's what, pushes us. And I know it pushes me, to come on here and to speak out, because we are in that, the later moments, and I wish, like I said, that I, had been, had more time to get on here and been a part of, technology and the internet, in the earlier days back, when I was younger, like when I was 19 or 21, because those are the days where you didn't have, we weren't at this point. You could, come on here and you could get hundreds, thousands of views. You could fucking build a business on here. Now you just talk about the most, just a random conversation. It's nothing wrong. Nothing that you said. It's just, oh, they just take it down, or oh, whatever. And it's just like, and two, it was weird too, because he said they didn't give him a strike, but they just took it down. They didn't even give him a reason; they just took it down. They didn't give no strike, but it's just like, that's just the thing. I mean, I know we've had like a couple kind of strike things on some of our videos and stuff, and you just don't know where things are going, but you can see that the surveillance state, like I said, is just growing by the day, and it's just it's going to get a lot worse in the years to come, the next couple of years. And it's just there's no denying it. So this is the time, the time that we have right now. Who knows? I mean, maybe we only have 6 months. Maybe we don't even have 6 months. I mean, we don't know. And that's the whole point. And that's the whole point of what we do. And that's why it's great to, like I said, at least have, King Richard on, other people on, because, even if it's, not, what you think it's going to be something else where, we're going to be, jailed or fined or punished for saying the things that we do, and there's going to be consequences, and we're going to lose our jobs and our income and stuff from what we do and say. That's also all coming. I mean, it's coming from every level. That's what I'm really saying. I mean, it's coming from every level. It's not that, I mean, you're not going to have any place to hide. I mean, you're not even going to be able to get in the grocery store soon, because AI and surveillance says you can't get in to get your groceries. I mean, what are you going to do then? I mean, that's where it's going. And there's a limited time to speak out and all this, and like you were just saying too. I mean, um, it's just amazing to me that it's like we are as rare as we are, and we're all, just there's not as many of us as there needs to be and there should be, but just try and even have conversations with most people too. I mean, you go, like I said, at the gym, what are a lot of people talk about? Oh, they're talking about the game and the sport, stuff like that, because a lot of them think this stuff's real. They look forward to this stuff. I mean, the people that are around us, unfortunately, are not really on our level, because they're just focused on keeping their head down, making money, doing their job. And it's just that way of life is coming to an end. I mean, they might be part of it, but people like us, we don't have long to go. And um it has to start somewhere, where it's like, I mean, just like you were saying too before tonight too. I mean, you got, troops on the ground, boots on the ground there in Portland. You got that big shooting and fire and crap going on in Michigan. I mean, the news is just, everything is chaos right now. It's just, everything is on an all-time high. I mean, a lot of the stuff too that has just been ramping up rapidly. I mean, since like even the month of May, you look at where we were just a few months ago to where we are now. I mean, a lot of this stuff wasn't even talked about or going on then. And then you look at where we are now. I mean, this stuff is just exploding. I mean, it's just news, day in, day out, of what is going on. I mean, it's just, weather warfare. I know, like, Phoenix just got smashed. They're underwater. They're flooded out. I mean, you got just chaos all over the country. You got chaos everywhere. And there's only so much to even cover. I mean, you still got people distracted with the Charlie Kirk crap and stuff like that. I mean, and like I said, I mean, you look at what that's even done. People losing their jobs and stuff, and that affects everything. And yeah, I mean, pretty soon, I mean, you just won't be able to talk about anything, and that's just, you won't be able to do anything. That's just where it's going, and that's where the alarm bell should be ringing off. Everybody should be you know up in arms about it, because it's not even the internet at this point. It's just your every uh day way of life is changing, and it's going to change forever. I mean, AI is going to explode the next couple of years. That's going to take over a lot of things. The internet's, like I said, as we know it, is going away. It's changing right now, and that's just the thing. I mean, we have such we have such a short window of time to do, so much to even have a winning chance at this point. And it's like, it is frustrating, and it's like disheartening, because it's like, I didn't see it going down this way, 9, 10, 11 years ago, because it just, I definitely seen us losing them, but it wasn't going to be like this. We weren't going to go down like this. Now it's just the point where it's just like, man, and then you just don't know what it's going to be and what they're going to do. And it's just like, now you have to look at life. It's like, okay, and you got people, like I said, I mean, people that want to, maybe leave the country or get out of here or something. There's not a lot of community here in the States. I mean, a lot of us are spread out. If something happens, where do you go? What do you do? I mean, there's not a lot of people to really rely on and go to right now for stuff. And then you don't know, like I said, like with what we do, how long does, like even a chance of like making money on, YouTube and the internet. I mean, no, that's pretty much going away right now too. I mean, because you look at it, I mean, a year from now, things are going to look drastically different. 2 years from now, things are going to look way more drastically different. I mean, the things that they're implementing, AI and all the stuff that's coming right now, we're just at the, I think it's really going to start this winter. And I think we're on the road to a dark winter. I think it very well could be this winter, but I do feel like we're getting to that point where, with everything in the news, everything going on, the way they just keep pushing things and riling things up, and then you got everything else going on, we're coming to a point where something's going to give. And I think that whatever is going to give very soon at some point. And I won't be surprised, like I said, this winter. I mean, you know, just got to be prepared for stuff. But people just have to, like I said, use what you have. Use your voice, whether it's on the YouTube, whether it's on, whatever, whether it's out and about. Use it right now while you still can, because our days are numbered, and they're drastically going down. I mean, look how it's already to the end of the year already. I mean, you can't fathom what another year is going to be, where we're going to be with things.
No, so completely agree. Well put. And yeah, when it comes to this whole censorship and where we're going, it's like people can talk about, because they love showing us where we're headed through media and movies and things of that nature. But I challenge everybody listening to if you made it this far, think about, where, think about the past, think about the potential future, and especially how they show it to you in media and movies and stuff. Almost every single thing that we thought potentially was like outlandish has come to fruition. And what movies are romanticized versions of things. Aliens, when we meet aliens, guys, I have my own opinion about it. That's not the episode for this, but it will be, do I think the odds are high that they are gray, oval, big-headed dudes or green? No, I don't think that at all. I think that those are cartoonified, romanticized versions of something that does exist potentially, whatever. But as far as things that are more tangible to our existence as it stands, the censorship, the 1984, the Orwellian things. How many movies are about that? About the not necessarily, there's post-apocalyptic movies that do it well, that do that as well. Show you where the government overreached once the post-apocalyptic thing happened, or the ones that never mind the apocalypse, but just technocratic overreach of society. And you look at the common citizens, the day-to-day life of the citizens. Go tell me that you want to live in that world where all the flying cars and the jetpacks and everything. Go look at the citizenry. You do.
Yeah.
That's you. You're not the guy flying on the jetpack. You're not the guy fighting on the skyscraper. You're the guy who's like only laminated card that he gets, once a year, and he has to apply for a new one, and it takes 6 months to get a new one in order to go to the grocery store. It broke, and he's down and out, and he's gonna have to talk to 50 AIs within the next 20 days to try to sort out his life, and his job is sorting plastic, or I don't know what the hell the future jobs are, but I'm just saying, like, that's you. That's the reality. That is where you're going to be. The version that you see in the movie, that's the romanticized hero villain story. That's not you. You're a grunt. We are grunts. We are dudes. We are just things. Like I mentioned earlier, with the internet, with things overall, like I said, overall, we are on borrowed systems. These are not ours. We don't have the benefit of setting the rules. Now, that doesn't mean that we're powerless. That's the last thing I'll ever say. Obviously, I've talked about where our power lies. Obviously, it's in numbers, and it's sad to see how low our numbers are, or at least how like in hibernation our ranks are. It's just like, wait, you woke up and then you took a nap. It's like, how can you wake up and take a nap? I don't personally understand. I personally don't understand how you wake up, if you know what I mean. I mean, you wake up from the illusion or the disillusion, and you just like, oh, I get it, guys. I'm on your side. And you're just like, I'm just going to nap this one. Like, no, there's no nap time. The time for naps is gone. When you wake up, you should wake up because you realize we're already 50 years behind or more than that. There's no reconciliation of time. We have to do something. We're not going to be able to, on a linear path, we're never going to catch up. We're never going to do so much as a community that it makes up for the lack of doing over the last 50, 100 years. Something else has to be done in order to to reach that plateau of how far we're behind. And obviously, I'm not talking about anything. If you're still thinking I'm talking about those technocracy movies, then that means taking it to cable 54 and blowing up the hive mind mother brain. But I mean, in a way, that's a symbol for what needs to be done. The mother brain is something that needs to be destroyed, and that mother brain is the nucleus of this surveillance state that we're moving towards. And I say moving towards, but people will scoff at the idea of think about things I remember when I was coming up, they were just first, when I was a kid, they were just first mentioning traffic cams being a thing. And I remember the adults fuming, absolutely furious. They would have never allowed it. When traffic cams came in? The next generation. Those same adults did not instill into their kids the same values. That's what, this could go on forever, and it could also branch off in so many different ways, because it really is, there's no, I can't explain how important it is that if you find something important as an adult, let's say if you have kids or if you have friends or family, whatever it is, at least plant a seed. You have to plant your seeds out there. Me personally, I planted a couple, and I'm hoping to plant a couple more, but I mean, also, thought seeds as well. Because if you go, like I was just mentioning, all those adults I saw would never let it happen. So guess what happened? It didn't happen. One generation later, those adults' kids did not instill those values into their children. Traffic lights or traffic security, you know what I mean? Traffic cameras. Well, you might scoff at the idea of a traffic cameras. Oh, it's just you're going to get a shitty ticket, blah, blah, blah. It's AI tracking of your car. I don't care if you think it's only of your car or it has this purpose and that's all it does. It's inching in. And then and why I say it's interesting is because for the common person, it's the allowed surveillance. These people are so disillusioned still, they don't realize that about all the the not forthright surveillance, the surveillance that you find out about 20 years from now, the surveillance that's been on your house since it was built, the surveillance that's been at every traffic light since they were put up. And the more we okay it, and the more we don't push back on it, and now that I'm more speaking about in our times, we're talking about this because in a way it's the same mission. Censorship is the same mission as surveillance, because the mission is pigeonholing the populace. And just like pigeons, it's like, what are their two responses? Stand still or run away. That's a pigeon. That's what they're turning us into. Never do pigeons, with all their hundreds of pigeons, have a car coming and the pigeons all attack the car. You don't see it. It doesn't happen. They either stand still and get ran over, or they run away. That's us. We're literally pigeons being pigeonholed into these different into thinking that we have two options: to sit there and let it happen, or to run away from it. When in all reality, we should be focusing on the third option, and the third option should be realizing that there's more options. But then the fourth option is, one of those options is fight. And you're not limited by two options. You're not limited by three options or four. There's more options that you can do. And if more people did it, everybody has their own lives and their own reasons. But at least, I'm not saying that this resistance will ever happen by everyone being on the same page and fighting back. That's not how it's going to happen. What's going to have to happen is that people are going to have their own reasons to dissent from the system that they're in. Look at what, the modern day freedom fighter, look at all these like whiny rioters and stuff like that. And I say whiny because I think there's a right way to do, or, I said rioters, but I meant protesters. Yeah. Because I'm not hating on protesting. Protesting is obviously a necessary thing, 100%. This isn't hating on protesters. I'm talking about BLM protesters, things of that nature. Even though the ones that seem more grounded and centered, at the end of the day, it's just like these whiny forms of doing stuff. And I think it's a trick. What I think is, it's a kind of like a trap. When people see protesters that never have any inclination to actually stand on what they're protesting for, what it does is it pacifies more people than it enrolls. Do you know what I mean? There's more people that see people protesting and say, oh, people are taking care of it. Or the government's going to see all the other people that are already there, and they're going to, do something because of them. And so they'll just go on with their life, and they don't see the need for them to get involved with it. And I'm not, and so why I bring up BLM is because, like, same with that. It's like, yeah, they had their heyday, but look how everybody forgot them. It's already just like, all right, that's gone. So even ones that are, more rooted in like anarchy is kind of what I'm getting at. Those fizzle too, because people are just like, well, I got shit to do. I can't be an anarchist full time. It's just like, boy, you're not understanding the idea of anarchy, are you? But it's so funny to me that these anarchy movements fizzle. It's like, what? How does an anarchy movement fizzle? What are you're literally just jumping back into the system? That's like the most anti-anarchy thing ever. It's so funny that these movements that don't really have any movement. But yeah, I think famous quote, "The revolution won't be televised." I think that's becoming more true than ever because he who owns the televisions choose what's on it. And I mean, that's what the true meaning was back in the day, but it had a different context to it. But nowadays the revolution won't be televised because no one's going to be in it. You know what I mean? It won't be because it's being censored. It's because everybody will be so pacified from the censorship and the surveillance that we're going to be right there in those RoboCop movies. Only we're not going to be the main characters like you think you're going to be. We're going to be fighting for scraps in the crazy cement cities. And if you guys think that this is some far off crazy dream, fever dream, you guys need to do your due diligence looking back at history. Imagine what a cotton farmer in the 1800s would ever imagine that same cotton farm. Now it's a IKEA. It's a Swedish furniture shop. Like, what? Who do you think they would have ever imagined that their farmland, their hectares of farmland would become a parking garage next to a mall, next to a quick stop, next to a BP, just a bunch of crap, just a bunch of shitty cement buildings with shitty stuff in them? You guys got to have perspective, like historical perspective, especially because that lends you the eyes and ears to see where we're headed. And everybody with their heads down, that's where they're headed, just straight down. That you got to pick your head up, realize what's going on around you, see what it's becoming right in front of your eyes, and do what you can for at least those around you. And this is a rallying cry, not to come help me, help yourselves. There's so many helpless people out there and people that have given up, and it's only going to get worse. We're talking about the surveillance system right now and all the censorship. Like you said perfectly, use your voice while you have it. It's crazy. I made the thumbnail already, and man, this thumbnail is going to be a banger based on what we're talking about, especially the use your voice while you have it. That might even be the title of the video. I had a different idea for the title, but I'm still milling over a couple. But that might be the title of the video because it's so true. You're absolutely right, dude.
Yeah, I like it. It all sounds good to me. And another thing too, it's like right along the lines of what you were just saying. I mean, a big thing that it's totally changed is just this, the individualism today. And everything's, it's become the individual world. But based off what we know, you go back hundreds of years ago, you go back 100, even 100 years, but 200, 300, 400 years ago, 500 years ago, you were talking individuals. I mean, you were talking just death. You were just going to die. I mean, you were fucked, you were completely fucked. I mean, 1,000 years ago, you're just going to, I got this for myself. I'm all good. We're I got it. No, it was all about, you had to, have community and work with people and come together and have people around to do things. I mean, it took teams and teamwork, and there was no one man show. There was no one man army back in the day to do things. And I think I think that's really where they got us to. And I think that's why so much of this is going on. Like you said, you got, you look to a lot of places, you drive around. It's like, what do you see? You pull in somewhere, you see, oh, here's a massage parlor. Here's a liquor store. Here's a weed store. And it's
Wait,
like,
where is that? Where's that at? Just for my buddy. He wants to know. I'm just kidding.
oh yeah. I mean, you just go around anywhere. I mean, that's just what. Maybe not like all. Maybe some places have like all three of those like right there, but like you go to other places, it's like, it's just kind of the gist of what you see today. You just see that world where we're, all these things, from the surveillance, to censorship, to all these things. all this division, all this divide, all this brokenness, aloneness in the world, and all these people just kind of, like you said, just how people are now. I mean, that's why all this stuff is happening too, because it's just like I don't understand how, like, them making people have to send their IDs in to use YouTube, and use, like, how are people even like allowing, like, how, oh, you can't, it's just like, especially the way the internet used to be. I mean, it used to be, uh I mean, things were always censored and taken down, and stuff like that. But it used to be, for the most part, you could just pretty much say whatever you wanted, do whatever you wanted. Now you just can't do anything, and now it's just to the point where it's like, it's just happened so fast. I mean, there was times where, there was, for such a short amount of time. It's like I said, even 20 years ago, I don't think YouTube was out till like November of 2005. So it was almost 2006 already when it came out. But the very 2005, I mean, 20 years ago, we couldn't even do what we do right now. And then, for a short amount of time, like 2012, 2014, 2016, you could still get away with stuff. But 2017, I mean, you literally only had like a decade, 11 years or so of, time on YouTube to really have any kind of impact. Because anything after that, I mean, that's not a lot of time. You really think about it, a decade, 11
Mhm.
years, that's really all you got. Because, since 2017, it's just become impossible. But you look at how bad it's gotten, how much, worse it's gotten. It's just all the levels of it. The surveillance is out of control. And it's just, like I said, it's going everywhere. I mean, the cameras, you won't, like I said, you won't be able to go in the store. You won't be able to go bail your fruit out the groceries. You won't be able to get gas. You won't be able to, do anything. That's just where it's going. And then, with the censorship, just, making a video, just talking about stuff that's, not threatening anybody, not harming anybody. It's just talking random stuff that is, just having a conversation, that gets taken down. I mean, you can't say anything, you can't speak your mind. But yet there's not enough outrage. There's people that, are outraged or make videos that they're outraged or something. But then it's just, it goes back to what I just said. It's not coming from that group. It's not coming from enough of abundance. It's just like this person here, maybe a couple people here, maybe a couple people there, but it's just like, okay, where's the real, where's the real pushback here? It's just like people fighting. There's people that got, channels, um, you know, justice for Kurt Cobain or something like that. You'll have people on, but it's like, okay, yeah, we've been talking about this for, over 30 years, and maybe these people only knew about this stuff for like 10 years or 11 years or 12 years or whatever. But still, it's like, okay, where is all the people? I mean, you got how many people live in Washington State? How many people live in the United States? None of them do anything about it. 9/11, same thing. There's just nothing. It's just how it is. COVID 5 years ago, going on 6 years. It's, besides seeing the less people that are around, and all the face diapers and all that crap. I mean, it's like it never even happened, because it's just like it's like, oh, that was 5 years ago already. It's just, that's how it is. It just, things just happen. They just change so fast. Um, and I even, just months ago, like I said, I mean, the internet looked completely different, and YouTube and stuff, and then they really started changing things around as of late. I mean, they've really been making some big moves, and it's not going to go away. I mean, 2026, it's going to amplify huge. AI is going to take over huge in
Mhm.
2026, even the next few months. Same thing 2027. I mean, 2027, you're going to see tons of vehicles driving around. That's just going to be AI. There's not anybody in there. It's going to be AI, and that's going to be taking people's jobs. I mean, it's going to be, uh, you know, by 2030, things are going to look completely different. I mean, it's going to be a completely different world the next few years. 2028, I mean, I can't imagine what's going to happen that year. You got the bullshit selection. So, by then, I mean, I don't even think we're going to have a voice at all by then, by that time, with the way things are going. 2029, I mean, that's just unfathomable to me what things are going to look like by then. As Agenda 2030 approaches rapidly, because you just see, I mean, and like I said, with the events going on, all these things that are happening, um, and there's just so many people that it's just like people. Again, I mean, they stir up these stories, they stir things up in the news and the media, um, yeah, I mean, obviously there are people that, know and see what's going on, but like you said, when I really look around at it and I really just see things, it's like I just see things in people that's like that everyone's just like too far gone. I mean, you got people that it's like they're either too old or their health is bad or their minds are gone. It's like you just see, or they're, like I said, it's just they're, they're alone, they hate their job, they go home, they stop at the store, they go to the liquor store, they go to the weed store, maybe they do some other drugs or something, or they got something else going on. They go home, they watch TVs or shows or movies or watch their porn, whatever they're doing, and that's most people's lives today. I mean, that's where most people are at. I mean, you got to see things, how broken things really are, and then you see the surveillance and you see the censorship, and then it all starts making sense. It's like the reason all this stuff is happening is it's because there is no unity. There is no, as one, and that's why this stuff is bad as it is, and it's getting worse by the day. I mean, it's undeniable. I mean, but like I said, I mean, you look around, how many people really care about it? Like I said, I go to the gym. It's like, what are most people talking about? Oh, they're talking about the Seahawks, man. Seahawks are 3-1, bro. They're 3-1. They're winning, man. We're all winning. Yeah. And then you say something about the surveillance state or censorship. It's like, they don't even want to think about that. They don't even want to look at that. It's like, they're just, oh, I got to make money, man. I got to do my job. I got to keep my head down. I just, not even, nobody wants to talk about this stuff. Nobody wants to look at it. It's just what people care about. It's what people want. People don't want to fight for this stuff, and I just don't get it. I mean, I don't understand how, you're just not that long ago. I mean, you had so much that you could do with the internet and reaching people, and it's just gotten to such crap, and it's just they've just destroyed it and taken away so much, and yet you don't have any pushback for like anything they've done.
Yeah, and I'll have slight correction on your statement there. There is one group that is unified. We talked about it before that, there's one certain group that's so unified that, I think, yeah, we talked about this with 2 weeks ago with Richard, that I hate to say that we should borrow from their tactics or methods or anything like that, but golly, at least the unity part, at least the not selling each other out part, at least the, in it for the cause part, let's change up the mission. Let's change up the mission statement a little bit. I'm not willing to slam any babies on any walls, but so without, turning into military orders of religious factions, becoming a military order does seem rather appropriate. And why that doesn't mean we have to organize in the same way, but taking over, taking from those methods wouldn't be the worst idea. I mean, like I said, you mentioned this, that we're moving more individually now. If that is the crux of the issue, to where everybody is so individual that they can't see the forest for the trees, and they can't see that, together is where the strength lies, at the very least, doing for self and for those around you in a proper way, and that opens things up to interpretation of what is proper. But I think people know for the most part what I'm talking about. Doing your best to not feed in to the system, whether or not it's monetarily or with your energy or with your being an agent for the system. No, you guys, we're not on their payroll. Can we as a citizenry stop acting like we are on the payroll of the government? Why are there so many government activists, basically, that are just more than willing to push agendas? I understand there's MK Ultra, there's programming and all those things. Like I've said multiple times, I'm a product of it too. You can wake up. Your job as a human is to wake up. I can't be any more plain than that. If you're watching this and you think sports are real and you think that the government's real and the news is real, your job is to wake up. If I'm that voice that you need to hear, okay, so be it. I don't care what it needs to be. You have to wake up. It's not pretty. It's not fun. It's the goo. It's rising out of the goo in the Matrix. Guys, you have to wait. That is your number one job. Number two through infinity job is, is pushing past this system and in one way or another. And what I'm trying to say is, if it has to come from an individual perspective, at least be doing things the right way. That way, you're not a pawn anymore. There's way too many free agent pawns for just volunteer pawns, yo. Like, imagine seeing a game of chess in real life and be like, yo, can I be one of those pawns that dies first? Can I just do that for you? Hey, you're a big bad queen. Can I just stand in the front of you and just get slaughtered? It's like, that's the mentality I see people all too easily walking around with. Hey, can I be a echo chamber, or can I be a loudspeaker for your agenda? I got nothing going on. I mean, yeah, I got kids to feed and I got my own self to feed and I have a job and I have all these responsibilities. But on top of all that garbage I am already doing, can I just do something extra that I shouldn't be doing for you? It's just like, where are these people? How do you look at the marches and all this crap? Wake up. Number one, wake up, guys. You guys need to wake the hell up. And from there, don't go back to sleep. Don't rest on your laurels and say, woo, I did it. I woke up. Nap time. I'm still a little got sleep in my eyes. And, because there is let me just biblically, there is another side to this. I don't know. In my opinion, in my beliefs, if you will, there is another side to this. If you can walk through life thinking that it is my job, it is my purpose. I was, 80 million to 1 because I need to grow up and be a stock ticker and be I need to read these indexes and apply them to this set of numbers and then read this index and apply. If you think that was your human purpose, your ethereal purpose, I mean, good luck with that. I don't see what the point would be personally, but for everybody else that understands that this life is a test. This life is a test. It always has been. You pass the first test against your brothers and sisters day one. That was the first, or not even day one technically. I guess technically day one according to some things, but I mean second one. That first race was a test, and it's been tests ever since then. And it's not about being the most studious person. It's not about being the most book smart. That's not the test I'm talking about. The test is, are you going to, it's not even about realizing it. I don't think everyone has to realize it. I think some people just are what they need to be. And I think back in the day, a lot more people were just what they needed to be because there was no temptation to be something else. And you see that, that is what's swept over everybody. They're so tempted to be things that they aren't supposed to be. And we all need to go back to being closer to ourselves. And that coincides with the community you talked about perfectly. You mentioned, hundreds of years ago. Good luck. Oh yeah, I can take a saber tooth if I need to. I'm just going to go that way, guys. Yeah, nobody was saying that. No, that wasn't a thing because there was no temptation. What's going to draw somebody to go and fight the tiger by himself? Nothing. So all these other things, but look at it nowadays. Like you mentioned, all the vices that you went through, the list of vices, and it's only growing. It's only growing. Imagine when they hook you up to those little neuron things that they like trigger your muscles and your senses and things. Imagine they get you hooked up to one of those with a neural link and your visor on, and you can just sit there and you're at that strip club that you used to have to feel shame walking into. Now you're at a virtual reality one and you were able to sense all of that stuff. God, we are closer to that than you could possibly imagine. And if we don't have enough people that are strong enough to withstand that kind of level, and I'm not saying just that thing, there's the other vices that people are fighting against. There's going to be all new versions of all these vices, but at the end of the day, they will be the same purpose behind them: pacifying you, keeping you low, keeping you down, keeping you from waking up. Andrew Tate says it a lot, but we are in the matrix. These people are here to deliver a message to you. They have jobs. They are supposed to deliver messages to you. They're not going to tell you what they mean. Their job is strictly to deliver a message. And if you understand the message, that's where you're at. They don't control where you're at. Well, they do, but I'm saying they don't, at the end of the day, it is our job to wake up. So if we're not woke up yet to understand those messages that are coming, that's what they're counting on. And that's been successful. It's been a successful business model for them. And allowed them to be like gods when in reality they are demons parading as such. And yeah, we're in a war and we need to wake up and fight it and stop sleeping.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. I mean, you got like I said, everybody's just they're alone. They're just broke, busted, disgusted, and that's just the thing. I mean, a lot of people just they feel like they don't really have anything to fight for. Their life is just, I mean, their life is just it's all consumed by money. And like I said, it's a very multifaceted, deep agenda. I mean, it's not like I'm saying like, oh, if you got a massage, you're a bad person. If you smoke weed, you're a bad person, or you're doing something wrong, or whatever. No, you can do whatever you want to do, but there's so much more to it than that. It's like everyone. You could use something as a tool. You could use something to help you. You could abuse something. You could do it too much. It's just you got to find a balance. Everything in life is about a balance, and that's the thing. Everyone's life is out of balance. I mean, people are, and people don't even realize it. They don't even see it. They're not even they're going to work. They're working on these jobs. They're hustling around trying to make money. They have no time for nothing. They're always alone, or they're just they're kind of all over the place, and they're just changing by the day. But I mean that like I said, that's part of the agenda too, and that's just where they got like people caught up, and they got people caught up in the money, caught up, and people don't have time to really talk and communicate. And but that's just the thing. I mean, like I'm one of those people that it's like I like to hear what people have to say, but it's hard to even find a lot of people that certain people that can even have a conversation with, because it's like a lot of people that they're all caught up in small talk. They're talking. They care about what the president does, or what some celebrity does, or just meaningless talk, talking about sports, just dumb shit. They don't want to have a deep, actual, philosophical, trying to help each other out or help other people out. It's like, or they just look at you like, you got nothing, like you don't know nothing, you don't bring none to the table. It's like, that's just the thing too. It's just, everyone's just kind of in their own little world. You don't have a lot of people coming together anymore. You used to have people used to wanted to go out, used to wanted to go meet people, do stuff. Today, everybody's just so isolated. They're just alone. They don't really want to go out. They don't want to do nothing. And it's, to a degree, I get it. To a point, I get it. And even money wise, and I don't think they're expensive and it's hard, but that's a lot of reason for the surveillance and the censorship as well. It's just you don't have a lot of people really willing to fight for a lot of stuff. A lot of people just, they're to the point of life where they just don't want to face stuff. I mean, a lot of people, they don't even want to look at it. A lot of people, they're older and they just, they're just trying to get through life, and maybe they're in their 40s or 50s and they're just trying to, coast the rest of it out. I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, when you really look at like what there's left for like people, like even in America, um, it's so it's so small. Like what things could be. I mean, if we were all coming together and doing things and having conversations about stuff and communicating, but the way people are now, I mean, it's almost just become impossible because everybody's there's just so miserable. They hate themselves, they hate their lives. Everyone's got mental problems and mental illness, and it just creates this this downward spiral of people in society. I mean, it's just like we're to that point where we're at that breaking point where it's like you can't continue on in this world with really the people and stuff around you, because they're just not even meant to make it. Most people, they're not meant to make it. They're not meant to make it physically, mentally, emotionally, or anything. And then a lot of people, they're tapping out, they're crashing out. I mean, it's what you're seeing. I mean, people are losing their minds right now, and it's only going to get worse. And it's like when you had a more stable society, say 9, 10, 11 years ago. I mean, there was more I hate to use the word pride, but really I think there was. I mean, people were more prideful of America, and it felt like you kind of had something to fight for. Now it's just like, that's just thing, it's just a clown world, it's a joke world. So it's like everyone just sees the world as such a clown. It's like, I was just looking at something, what was I looking at? Two, like, it was like two like WWE wrestlers right before I came on here tonight. There two women wrestlers, like they were talking about how they quit the WWE because they make like 5 or 10 times more on like just OnlyFans. So it's like, why would I want a professional career in wrestling when I can just do OnlyFans and shit? And it's like, and you see all these people making hundreds of millions of dollars on there and stuff. I mean, that's the state of society. I mean, that's where it's at.
Women
That's
wrestlers are porn pipelines. They always have been. Women
oh yeah.
in wrestling are just porn pipelines. I mean, you look at the crowds of fathers and sons, and they're bringing their little kids to these events, like front row, just to see like literal lingerie wrestling. It's like, what the fuck? There's a sickness in our society, man.
Yeah, it's nothing like it was like when you watched it like many years ago. I mean, yeah, you had some women and stuff that and other dudes too that were like in wrestling and they were doing porn and stuff. But I mean, now it's just like that's just all it is. And now now it's just become, like I said, that's why they push the women now. Now the women are now the men are the women, and you have all the things that are going on, and you just see everything's just at an all-time low. All the NASCAR drivers, they hate NASCAR. All the wrestlers, they hate wrestling. Everything is just, oh, I hate this. Everything sucks. So that's just the way where everything is right now. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is or what you're talking about. Everything's at an all-time low. That's how we are at the end stage right now, and we're getting ready for the next major shift in the world in our lives. Because, I mean, we're just at the end game all around. I mean, it just shows you where we are. I mean, and just like I said, I think we're talking about last episode too with King and stuff, just like all the weak people and weak men and stuff in society, and um, how that's a big part of it too. And like I said, unfortunately, like with where the censorship and the surveillance stuff is going, like I said, I mean, we're gonna be the ones that are gonna be paying for it soon. The next major event, I mean, we're talking about it. Next thing you know, we're getting people are trying to jail us, or we're getting fines, or we're losing our jobs or whatever. I mean, that's just where it's going. I mean, there's going to be consequences for people like us for what we do and what we say, because we are such a minority. We are so rare, and where most people minds are at, they won't even dare go where we go and think about things we think about and talk about things we talk about. And then you look at it, is the surveillance and the AI and stuff that's coming. I mean, like I said, I mean, people are worried about losing their jobs, all that stuff. It's like, well, the people that are going to be all the stuff they're using to target people, like we're going to be the ones that are going to be targeted. I mean, we're going to be, we are, and I say it all the time, we are on the front lines. I mean, I've all the shit that's happened to me, especially the last few years of my life. I know it's all been, all part of the targeting and stuff, but where we're going as a society in technology wise and everything with the surveillance and AI and all this censorship, yeah, there's gonna be consequences for stuff that we're doing. I mean, and I think like even like the Charlie Kirk thing was a huge litmus test of that. Oh, you want to talk about this? Well, now you're gonna lose your job. And like I said, and now all those people, like I said, they all lost their job. What that do? That wrecks their lives. That wrecks other people's lives, and that wrecks the economy, and that just makes things spiral even worse downwards. So it's all part of a big agenda, and that's why they do it. And it's only going to get worse. I mean, all these things coming out now. I mean, anyone talking about anything, it doesn't have to be anything. You just make a video talk about absolutely anything. Bam, there goes your channel. Bam, there goes that video. Oh, bam, we hit you with this. Bam, hit you with that, and it's just going to keep going. I mean, they just keep adding, making new laws, new rules all the time. Things, and then that's just the thing. I mean, we're living in a time too where you don't even know what's real. I mean, people could be making AI could be making AI videos of us, be like, oh, here's Austin and Logan. See, here they are at a Trump rally, and see, here they are. They're promoting Trump right here or something. Something stupid like that. And then people will be like, oh yeah, see, there they are. But no, it's AI, it's fake, but people would never know. And that's just the thing. I mean, that's where we're going. I mean, with AI and all that stuff now. Yeah, we are. I mean, that's and AI is this was the real start of AI this year. But like I said, the next couple years, even the stuff I heard, I mean, I've heard in 2027, like ton of cars are going to be driving people around, that there's going to be nobody in them. It's going to be AI run. There's going to be so much advancements in technology the next couple years with AI, and it's like I said, it's not just going to be AI. It's because AI is going to, and all this stuff, all these digital IDs, digital passports. You got to get your license renewed. I think mine's good to like 2032, 2034. Well, I'm probably never going to renew it again, because by then, I won't be able to get in the DMV because the AI won't even let me in the fucking building. And that's just where it's going. I mean, I won't be able to get my groceries. I won't be able to do anything. I won't even be able to, walk down the street because fucking AI drones are going to spot me and be shooting fucking shit at me. And that's where it's going. I mean, that is the very near future. Like, people don't understand, like I always said, we are on the front lines, but like I said, our days, not only on the internet, but just in the future. Yeah, it's numbered, because they have all of our information. They know everything about us, and we're just so outnumbered, and we're just so rare. I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, to be saying the things that we're saying right now, I mean, how many people should be, you know, talking about these things, and it should be the main focus moving forward. I mean, not just AI, but just the fact that, you're losing stuff, and you're at a disadvantage even without the AI. And then you bring in this stuff, and you talk about all this other stuff. I mean, there's no human element left. You can't say anything, you can't do anything. So not only do you not have freedom, but you can't even live. You can't even be a person. You can't exist. Like, they are shutting us down. They are shutting us off, and that's going to be the future. And only a few people like King Richard, us, the few people that actually see this at the very near future, at the next few years of where things will actually be, because we are at the tipping point right now. I mean, you look at like what all the things like 2028, 2029, by the time we get to that point, nothing's going to look the same anymore. And there's going to be so much chaos in society. I mean, there's going to be boots on the ground, troops everywhere. You won't know if there's real shootings going on or not. You won't know if people are really burning stuff down, or this is, just weather weapons. You won't even know what's going on. I mean, you won't even know what's hitting you. It's going to be that chaotic. I mean, that's just the thing. It's order out of chaos, and they're just going to keep creating it. And as more people don't, speak out against it, more people don't want to, even talk about it. They just want to worry about, the Seahawks or something stupid. That just shows you where it's at. I mean, it's just, we're just so far behind. Like I said, I was thinking maybe we had 10 years, but now I'm looking at it like, yeah, 5 years from now, I mean, you won't even you won't even recognize this place anymore. It's going to look so different. And I don't know where, what our lives will be by that point, but it's not going to be anything like it is now. I mean, who knows if we'll have the digital money and stuff too by then, and whenever that officially comes to, I guess, but we're very close at this point. That's for sure.
Yeah, and 100%. And you mentioned the AI, self-driving and all that stuff. Obviously, we're at the precursor stage of all that, but I have insider knowledge of the freight industry. And guys, it's in the works. It's done deal. It's a done deal.
They're doing it now. There's self-driving semis out there. There's self-driving cars, but
it's about
to explode. It's about to take off.
And with that being said, look ahead, guys. Remember me saying this when you start seeing these news headlines to human-caused accidents with AI driving vehicles. It won't be right. We in the precursor, what gave them government overreach in order to fix the issue was their primitive AI driving cars crashing into things and other cars. Well, now they're going to say we fixed all those problems. These things are A1. These things are perfect. It's the humans that keep causing these accidents. They're erratic. They're doing all these things. Like think about how Spock would describe the situation. Illogical. But yeah, so look for that. Look for a lot of human-caused AI AI driving accidents. Look out for that, because that is going to give them the precedence to start cracking down even more. Oh yeah, you're a human. You want to drive a non-AI car? Well, your insurance is going to be a little bit higher. And when I say a little bit, you know what I mean. You're going to have to jump through these hoops. You're going to have to get this license. You're going to get have to get the non-AI license. Costs a little bit more. You got to jump through a few more hoops. It expires every 6 months.
Yep.
So yeah, guys, look out for those, because I was thinking about that. Like I said, I have insider knowledge about, and I have for a few years now, and I've been like, yo, this stuff is moving rapidly. Like if you guys don't understand the infrastructure that takes, if you can understand the infrastructure of the freight industry, I'm talking about moving goods all throughout the country. Think about your little knickknack stores and all the shit they put in Walmart. Think about one Walmart store, the metric tons of BS they have in that store. Imagine the logistics it takes for that. All of that stuff is being changed. All of it. If they can change all of that, and it's already in the works, it's done deal. It will be that way. Of course, there's still human truckers as of right now. But once that's done, it's done. That is going to pave the way for all of the other industries to do so as well. And yeah, you made a perfect point. And so yeah, guys, look out for that in the future. And just remember, don't fall into the trap when you start seeing these things, because don't fall into the despair trap that they have set out for you. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in once again. And once again, just really just a rallying call here at the end for the real ones that made it this far. Get involved with us. Do what you can. Obviously, I say get involved with us. That's the goal. From our perspective, from where we're coming from, we want more people involved here. But get involved. Just like get involved in your own life. Don't let things fall by the wayside. Don't rest on your laurels. Don't just let the days slip away, because they're slipping faster than sand can slip through your fingers. The things are escalating and moving faster than you could imagine, and you're going to look back, and we hopefully when you look back, it won't be with regret. And yeah, and you mentioned pride. I think that that is a cardinal sin, but at the same time, the concept of it, I would much rather have a prideful civilization than the one we are headed towards right now. And I'm not saying one is better than that one is right, that either is right. But if I had to choose, I would take the prideful civilization. And I feel like you can get back to the good from there easier than you can get to the good from where we're at and where we're headed. So with that being said, guys, thank you once again for tuning in, and we will catch you next week. Until then, have a good week, guys.
Peace.